Julie and Christina here. So we're talking about next Sunday's gospel, and I've just named it perseverance because it is, I think, about perseverance. So we will have someone read the gospel for the next coming Sunday, the 11th of February. And the readings are Gospel of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21 to 28. Gregory, you're on your. Would you like to read it? I do have it on my phone. Can you all hear Gregory when he talks?
Yep.
Okay. Hello. Yes. All right. We're starting.
So 21.
Yeah, guys, have a seat because we have people here. Everyone is excited. We haven't seen each other for about 6 weeks or so here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are you guys, Julie and Christine? Are you coming? Should we wait for you?
We're making that snacks.
Okay. We'll wait for the snacks, not for you.
Can I, before we start, then, can I just hand these out?
Yeah.
This is
Thank you.
They just go through. I think we had this last year, if you remember.
Yeah. Pascha is Easter. Yes, that's what we use. The term Pascha.
It's from Passover, yeah, is that right?
That's right. Like, yeah.
It just goes through the fast there, the epistle gospel readings, and how you can participate, things we can pay attention to.
When do we start?
25th of Feb.
What? No, the Lent starts on March 17th.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Tuesday.
Yeah, because Easter is now, Pascha is on the 5th of July this year.
May.
Very late.
Yeah.
May, 5th of May, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. For us, it's really late. But it's okay. Yeah, to the Westerns. Yeah. All right. Gregory starts reading the Sunday's Gospel, please.
21 to 28, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, hang on. Can hear him only slightly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It was Matthew, yeah, 21.
Like this?
Okay. Then Jesus went thence, and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coasts, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it unto you even as you will. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
Did you hear? Well, okay. All right. The Canaanite woman, one of the Gospels that's really, let me see, how can I do that? Okay, good. Okay, this is one of the stories that's bugging us, and we should pay special attention to these kind of stories because there is a great spiritual lesson in them. Why is she made to wait, as you can see? Then we can see that Jesus enters pagan territory near the towns of Tyre and Sidon, which is today in southern Lebanon. So pagan land is something that's corrupt, something that's dysfunctional, because we should be understanding gospel symbolically. When Jesus goes in that pagan land, he goes into our own dysfunctionality. He's coming to us. He's giving us an opportunity. He is not ashamed of, we might be ashamed of our own dysfunctionalities, of our own sins, of our own failures, and that can stop us and prevent us to advance in life, in spiritual life, in any sort of life. Because when you do something wrong, and when you're in that kind of addictive pattern, because sin is an addiction. Sin is an addiction. Try to conquer sin. You'll see how it drags you back and wants you to. It has this addictive pattern. Wants you to keep repeating it, and doing the wrong thing. But Jesus enters into the pagan land. So he comes into our own dysfunctionality. He comes into our own sin. And so he's the one who initiates it. I think this is so important to understand. Enjoy your meal. No, you can. That's all right. That's why I have a presentations to remind me where I am. Okay, so that's the first thing, how it starts. So he goes into that. I've got a map here. So I already explained why did Jesus go there into that pagan land, and I've shown you the map there. So God came to save the whole world. That's all. That's also a very important thing. He came to save the whole universe. He did not just come for the Jews, of course. All right. Israel was chosen. Our God is a choosing God. He, out of all the people in the world, he chooses the people of Israel. Out of all places, he chooses the land of Israel. Out of all cities, he's choosing Jerusalem as the holy city. And out of all things in Jerusalem, he chooses the temple to be his place. But why is he choosing Israel out of all people? Not because Israel is better than others, than other nations, than other peoples. It is to serve as a vehicle for the salvation of the entire world. On the contrary, I mean, you read the Bible, open the Old Testament, and you'll see God is chastising through prophets, keep sending prophets to the people of Israel. And what are the prophets saying? Oh, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. You're not on the right path. And keeps doing that. So, worshiping the golden calf, and you name it. Kings who did wrong things, and all the history of Israel, of the ancient Israel, is pretty much ups and downs, and more downs than ups. So, but it is a vehicle through. Yeah.
The whole Old Testament's all down.
Well, yeah, it is very interesting. It is a vehicle by which the entire world is to be saved. So indeed, Jesus' primary mission is is indeed to his fellow Jews, but it's for the entire world. By restoring Israel, he is to restore the whole world. This is really important. Why I'm emphasizing Israel, because you will see in the church hymns and songs that we use new Israel, and new Israel is the church. New Israel is the church. So yes, we need Israel. We need that terminology. It is very important. Even Gnostics, those are heretics from the 2nd century and so on. They have suggested, we should just get rid of the Old Testament. It's just the New Testament, because in the Old Testament, God is hatred, He's war, He's killer, and so on. But they didn't understand. They didn't understand. It is so important that Jesus is coming to fulfill the law. He's saying that I did not come to abolish the law. I came to fulfill that. So New Testament is the continuation, the fulfillment of the Old Testament. All right. And so it's the revelation. God keeps revealing himself more and more and more. Okay. So he came to restore Israel and by restoring Israel, he's there to restore the whole world. Okay. Now, the woman addresses Jesus, very important, Lord, Son of David, my daughter is tormented by a demon or by a devil, depending on translations, okay? So, how is she calling him? She starts calling to him. She starts reaching out to him. And she names him Lord. What Jews, his fellow Jews, Israelites, did not understand, this woman from this corrupt land, from this dysfunctional land, understands really well. She understands who this person is. She calls him Lord, Son of David. So she knows where mercy is to be found in Israel. And so she, in a way, embodies the hunger of the entire humanity. Okay? Right. So her request is not for herself, and it's not something trivial. She doesn't know, oh, well, you know, I want a Mercedes Benz. I want to be healed. I want to be healthy. No, she doesn't ask nothing for herself. My daughter is in trouble. Now, we can talk about, you know, there is a lot of many things to be said about, you know, the previous one, what I said, that my daughter is tormented by a demon. What people understood by demon in that time, everything that was dysfunctional in a body was thought to be of demon, of the evil dark force. So medicine as a science did not exist. It could be whatever. Okay, it could be a disease, physical disease. It could be, you know, something. Probably the scientists today in the science could actually identify what the sickness, what the disease was. All right. So let's not actually, you know, cling to details. It could be the demon itself, but in this story, it was not mentioned. Jesus does not mention demon at all. But actually, the story ends. The daughter was made well, so she was healed. I made whole. So. But it's important for now to understand that her request is not for herself, or it's nothing trivial. It's really something important. So, and Jesus responds now. How does he respond? In utter silence. Nothing. He ignores her. Now, this is also symbolical for us. You know, how many times did you ask God for something and just the doors were shut? Nothing. There was no response. Nothing. Just silence, nothing. So we all should relate to this woman in this way. You ask for something, you plead, but no, there's no response whatsoever. So we ask God for something, but you know, and when we ask really, not of our selfishness, and we are met with silence sometimes. Now, the question is, how could he possibly resist this honest plea? But this woman, perseverant woman, and so that's why I named this perseverance, and you know, not because I've made it up, but the fathers of the church actually relate that. So she's not put off. She perseveres. She keeps going. All right. So first silence, then Jesus says to her, I have been sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now,
first the disciples
sorry?
The disciples went first, yeah?
Yeah, well, the disciples are saying that as well. Yeah, no, go away and so on. But then Jesus, well, then Jesus actually says to her, go away. He rebukes her, and it's important to understand why. She did not do nothing. It's not her fault that she was born in pagan country. It's not her fault that she's a Canaanite woman. All right, this isn't fair, really. I mean, who gets to choose where are you going to be born, in what nation are you going to be born, and so on. So this is really not fair. What is he saying to her? And so she's rejected. She and you know, first there was indifference, and now it's rejection. He's rebuking her. But then she prostrates, the Greek word there, she prostrates before him and says, Lord, help me. And this is also, now comes also crushing response. You know, first she's met with silence, second rebuke, and rejection, and now it's an insult. What Jesus is about to say to her, it's going to be really insulting. It is not right to take the food for the children and take it to the dogs. So, mind you, in Jesus's time, to compare someone to a dog, that was the lowest of the low. So he's insulting her. He is insulting her, comparing her with a dog.
Oh, but can I say something?
Yeah.
I've heard that the word dogs, and I know some Bibles say dogs, some say little dogs like this one. It refers, the Greek word is more for a dog, but a pet, not like a wild dog. And there's some significance to that because it's almost an insult, but not an insult as much because it's still, and I was explaining it, we were saying, well, it's more like a pet. So the pet isn't wild and out nowhere because he still ends up helping the lady or the daughter, but the pet is more like she's still in the house and she's still eating the bread, even though it's crumbs when it gets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know it says little dogs. That's what I've heard about that translation.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Oh no,
That's what
I
she
was
said,
just
isn't
going to say I was so confused by that very sentence.
Yeah.
So I wanted.
No, it is you can find many interpretations, of course, but it is an insult because at that time, you know, pseto jedno, and you know,
I get that. Yeah.
and even in our Balkan Eastern culture, it's really when you call someone a dog, a dirty dog. I think in Anglo culture as well, it is an insult when someone compares you to a dog.
I didn't interpret it as an insult. I was just confused.
I was confused.
With the
I could see it was an
meaning.
insult.
Yeah, but then you can't actually accept that it's an insult. You know, you can't accept that Jesus would insult someone.
Yes, that's what I think. There's no way Jesus would say that.
Yeah.
Maybe he was referring to maybe she's a sinner or something. I didn't see it as an insult.
Well, refers to her being a Gentile, not a Israelite.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's a pet dog is what I was getting to is, well, she's still in the house, which means she's still going to be part of the church. So it's not a wild dog, because the specific word from what I've heard is a pet dog, a little dog.
And the dog would be there in the house where the people are eating.
Yeah, so it's still a dog, but it still gets to eat the crumbs. So eventually the crumbs are going to come. That's how
And that's what she said.
that's how he explained. That's how I took it.
That's what she says in the next line, isn't it? About but even the
This woman is amazing.
Yeah.
Because she's not put off. So the question is, how much can this woman take? Sometimes we ask ourselves the same question, you know, how long will I be in this sort of situation? Really, I mean, I'm asking God, I'm praying for something, and it's not happening. And this woman is in that situation, so this is really important. And when the Lord says to her, she says, Lord, even the dogs eat from the scraps that fall from their master's tables. So she's not put off. Out of her mouth comes one of the most snappy responses. So she's really quick. And Winston Churchill was really quick. And a woman said to Winston Churchill at some point, because she hated Winston Churchill, and she said to her, if you were my husband, I would put poison in your tea. And Churchill said, madam, if you were my wife, I would drink that tea. Like in a second. So this woman is like really snappy. Like, yeah. So this woman is real. I mean, we remember this word because she wasn't waiting for it. She said, yeah, okay, that's why I'm a dog. But even the dogs eat from the scraps that fall from the their master's tables. That's fine, whatever. Just give me, doesn't really matter. I'm happy with whatever. So, but really, really witty, really intelligent, really smart woman. She, and mind you, this is really important. She never disagrees with Jesus. She doesn't say, "Oh no, I'm not a dog. I'm not I'm not, I'm a good woman. I'm a good person." You know how we hear that so many times. "Oh, I'm a good person," and this and that. No.
Hey, you should come to Bible study. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Good luck with that. So it's really important. It's really important. She does not disagree with him. She says she takes it. She takes it like a man. I mean, this is horrible what I said, but she takes it like courageously. That's fine. Yes, that's okay. And then Jesus answered her and said, "Oh, woman, now he's actually delighted by her faith. And now he actually praises her faith. Only now, after silence and ignoring her, rebuking her, insulting her, now he praises her faith." And now we're puzzled, what do we make of this? 3 rejections. What's this all about? Why was she rejected? Okay, in the Middle Ages, when a novice, a young man was to come, we have this discipline at the church in a way, okay? And if you went to see a monastic or an elder in some monastery, you would find this sort of a discipline, this sort of first you come and then you're ignored. Even now, if you go and no one pays attention to you, just to kind of give you, take it easy.
They're just testing you.
Yes, that's right.
They're just testing your faith.
But it's an old practice in monasteries in the Middle Ages. When someone wants to become a novice, wants to become a monastic, a monk, he would knock at the door and silence. Nothing. No one would open. If it's snowing, if it's raining, nothing. He would be there.
Oh, wow.
No water, no food, no human contact, nothing for days. And after a few days, a monk or whatever would come out and say, "What do you want?" So, and then he would say, "Oh, whatever. I want to be a novice. I want to be a monastic." He says, and he would get a response like, "Oh, you're not fit," or "Come next year," or "You're not for this," and so on. And he would just shut the door. And he was made to wait, and to wait and to wait. Now, this waiting is important. Okay, this is crucial. Jesus is testing this woman, but he's not testing in a negative way. He's not playing games with her. Holy Father say that he's testing her in order that she might come to know just how great her faith is. Okay, he's preparing her to receive the gift that he wants to give to her. Okay, because God is a giver. God wants to give and to give and to give. But you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to receive the gift. Someone asked St. Augustine, "Do you want some water?" No. Yes, okay. Someone asked St. Augustine, "How come we are met with silence when we pray?" And he answered, he said, "That you might be inspired to persevere in prayer and thereby to allow your heart to expand." Okay? Heart to expand.
I love that.
Okay.
The liturgy where you say, "Open your..."
Lift up your hearts. Yeah. Yeah. So our heart needs to expand. And when our heart expands, then we're ready to receive, as St. Augustine says, so as to receive the gift that God wants to give you. So he makes you to wait and to wait. And waiting is actually expanding our heart. And that is crucial. So you're made to wait in your heart, and so your heart can grow and your soul can expand. So that's pretty much the point of this story. All right, the end. Thank you.
Well done.
All right. Comments? This is a short story.
Wait, Captain.
Well, I had a
No.
million questions, but now I actually understand it.
You're right, yeah.
Completely different.
I mean, there is also this this part of this story where God is a giver and he wants to give and give and give and he shares and he wants us also. So, but he wants us to wait also, okay? And he wants us also to be givers as he is. If we want to restore the image and likeness of God in us, we also need to be givers like he is. So and do the same thing as he's doing. That's why you an abbot of a monastery or a spiritual father, if you want to go and see someone, he's not going to see you straight away once you come. He's not going to
What if you ring
embrace
them and say
you.
you're coming? Is it okay if I come? Then
Yeah, that's right. You're okay to come. You're okay to come, but no one's gonna offer you, red carpet. Okay.
Is that more for like when you want to go to be a
to be,
novice?
yeah, not like you want to go for a while to stay.
It depends on the monastery. Okay, that's what I'm saying. This was in the Middle Ages a common practice. Yeah.
For novices, I don't know if it's for like, okay, I've got some problems, I need to go talk to a monk.
That's right. Yeah, of course.
It's different then. I think it's to test the humility. Father. That's because that's what.
Yeah, I mean, Elder Paisios was talking to Buddhists, to atheists, and we can see that elders and fathers in the monastics were talking to everyone. It wasn't really you got to sit there for 3 days and wait until I talk to you. And I mean, what Buddhists would do that, or what atheists would do that. No, they had this judgment where they would say, okay, this one needs to wait, can wait, and I'm going to talk to that's such is life. You can kind of recognize sometimes.
Doctors do that a lot. They make you wait.
I don't think. And you can die by the time you. All right, then I'm gonna stop sharing this. All right. All right, guys. Any questions or okay. Maybe you could. Oh no. What I'm gonna do.
Question. Well, a question that I've been answered. No.
Well, that's echoing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear us now?
Yeah, a minute ago it was just echoing a lot.
No, but it's not anymore, is it?
No, good. It's good now.
Yeah. Good. All right.
I do want to ask about the disciples.
Yes.
Because isn't Jesus teaching them to, I guess, not judge and be open and so it sort of, I don't know, I try to imagine myself if I was a follower that I would be a bit more sort of loving towards others. Like
they seem to put themselves a step above the rest, it seems, from passage 23 or verse 23, I mean.
So that actually gets answered in the Orthodox Bible in one of the notes.
Right.
It's got one of the notes say, so this is talking about so Jesus, having invoked this woman's love and persistent faith, Christ now reveals her humility. She accepts her place beneath the Jews by being called a dog, who were the chosen people of God, yet still desires to share in God's grace. Christ's hesitancy was not a lack of compassion, but a conscious means of revealing virtues of the woman both to the disciples, so it's to reveal her virtues to the disciples, and like earlier, and for her own son, which I think was a quote from Augustine. So it's to show her how much faith she has, but it's also to show how humble and how much faith she has to the disciples.
That makes more sense now.
Now coming to this about to send the disciples out.
What is that, Nick? Where's that?
So if you look at the big picture of it, that's
Okay.
Is it in the notes? Is it down the bottom?
Yeah, it's the notes for chapter 15, 26 to 28. They're the notes for.
Oh, okay. Wrong page. Thank you.
And it seems to reaffirm that this passage as well in particular is this central theme is about faith and reward, right? Because she goes and finds Jesus, literally identifies him as Lord, gets told, no, go away, bugger off. And even Jesus is saying, well, I'm only helping the lost sheep of Israel, which seems to be like a reference, the promised land and heaven afterwards, right? But she then, kneels down and says, no, Lord, again, she's acknowledging him as Lord and saying, help me. And then that's, when he makes the retort and says, well, it's not right to take children's bread and toss it to the dogs. And, as Father Branco pointed out, she cleverly turns that on him and says, well, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table, which once again, she's still pushing that faith through and saying, no, I believe in you. You are the Lord and my master. And, verse 28 kicks in, and that's when Jesus is going, well, that's faith, right? You have really good faith, and there's the reward. And, with the notes from the Orthodox Bible, it just seems to talk about virtue and faith and reaffirms what I'm seeing is the central theme of, having that faith, perseverance through faith. Yeah. That's all I got over the thing, but yeah.
That's the best. Yeah, it's the best. We need to persevere. We need to persevere. And, my time doesn't mean God's time. I want it now. I'm asking God, for something. And I think, my perception, your perception is, I need it now. But God's perception and God's time is not the same as my time. So I may or may not have that.
Pray for specific things.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Get up to God with what is going to come out.
What His will is, not
specific.
Not
yes, but yes, but this woman wasn't praying for herself. She was praying for her daughter. And that is absolutely understandable that she, falls on her knees. She's out pouring her heart out, and that is a totally different thing. She's not asking for a trivial thing. Oh, please, God, give me a house or this, and even a house.
I think, sometimes we might be praying something, but maybe that's not for us. If that's the right thing we're praying for.
When I was overseas young, in wintertime, I would love to know. My aunt had a monastery. I used to always go and pray to God, Lord, any chance tomorrow you can bring us snow? And it says on the news tomorrow's going to be 30 degrees. It says snow. But God does fulfill. I mean, He fulfilled one of my dreams. Older we get, they're not fulfilled because we're more sinful.
Yeah, God doesn't listen to us sinners.
Supposed to pray for the wind to change and that, yeah.
But you know how I haven't told you how I started believing.
Yeah, we'll be out surfing. We'll be all sloppy and that, and praying and saying, Lord, spread the wind would change, make it all smooth and perfect and that. Yeah, and everyone's going, oh, wow.
I joke, I feel like the devil's in the window. When it's really windy, I'm like,
I'm the same. I like the wind.
I don't like it.
I'll tell you how I got to know God. It's a real or not. My mum told me about God. I was still young, like 8, 7 years old. And I said, I'm going to test this out. I went outside. It was raining. And I said, Lord, if you're real, stop the rain. And it stopped. And then I said, Lord, the sun came out. Then I said, Lord, make it rain again. And it started raining again. I thought, wait.
But how was it like dark?
No, it was dark. Everything I requested.
The sun comes through the clouds.
But I'm trying to say, when we're young, less sinful, I believe God, loves us.
Yeah.
We're children, we're going to older.
Yeah, that's really
Young and innocent.
But
It's echoing.
Sorry. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good now.
He didn't believe in God. He questioned God all the time. Did not believe in Him, but he was at his lowest point, and he prayed to. He hadn't spoken to my mum in 5 years, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna. You know, he said to God, God, if you're real, like, and he didn't believe in him. It's like, if you're real, like, you know, I need my mum or whatever. I need to. And he hadn't spoken with his mum in 5 years, but somehow she got his number from someone like about 6 months ago. And then at that very moment, she rang him and she's like, I felt you were in pain and that you need me. And that's God.
Oh.
There you go.
And this is a man of no faith. Yeah.
I hope he's got some faith now.
Oh, absolutely. Out into the world.
Yeah, look at St. Paul, was a denier. I mean, killed Christians. I mean, persecuted Christians, but God intervened and saved them.
Paul believed in God, and don't get me wrong. He was passionate for God and for the Lord.
And was persecuting a Christian.
Yeah, that's right. But he was passionate about the old.
It was a Pharisee.
You can have some. It's what you bought.
Yeah, no, but I just grabbed them though. Yeah, don't tell my girls that it's one of the food snacks.
Well, they bought it.
I knew that they were vegan.
They bought it.
Yes.
Okay, so can we go? We got here Sunday the 25th. Do we want to go and give everyone a topic for presentation?
Yeah,